Hey, welcome back to Kevin Navigates. Well, I'm sitting here in my truck at a job site, just looking out. It's the day after Christmas, and hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Mine was really awesome. Spending it with my kids and wife and family was just great. Couldn't ask for any more. So today, I'm just going to spend a couple minutes talking about the end of 2024 and what I'm proud of and what I'm looking forward to, and bring up the topic of New Year's resolutions and what looking at possibly doing some changes. So in recap of 2024, one of the biggest things was that I started the year out weighing 300 plus pounds and feeling just like, I can't do this. Something's got to change. I need to do something different. And just, some mornings waking up feeling like this is just not sustainable. Well, that commitment that I made it took me from, I made a New Year's resolutions last year to lose weight, be healthy, more independence, as far as financial independence, spending more time with the family, doing more things that I wanted to do, all the typical type of New Year's resolutions type things. And it just didn't happen. And you go through a frustration period. I'll never forget, we went to an amusement park, and I remember feeling like, I just can't fit in these seats. And I've always wanted to be active with my kids and not feel like it where you just can't participate because you're too big. And there was 2 weekends I think it was 2 weekends in a row, or 2 weekends in the month of May, where we had gone camping and we went to a go-kart track. And I remember getting in the go-kart, and it's like I could barely buckle the straps. And it was just like, wow, this is bad. And then I got on an airplane for work, and I remember sitting in getting in the seat and buckling my thing, and I was like, whoa, I have to suck it in to get this thing belted. I am not asking for one of those extenders. It's like, nope, can't do that. But anyways, I went away on my work trip, thought I was going to be really healthy. I remember weighing myself before I went. I'm just going to eat salads and, kind of choose well. I was looking into eating healthier, and I was looking into just diet, exercise. I think I even went to the pool while I was gone, and I went to the gym, did anything. So anyways, came back, and I think I was 5 pounds heavier than when I left. And I was like, well, that obviously did not work. So I always say this, June 6th is when I really made up my mind that it had to change. And that's when I basically went full carnivore. And here it is on December 26th, and I'm down 62 pounds, feeling great. Last night I was playing tag with my girls, and never got tired, and just running, chasing after them. So I do have a confession though, because this is my first holiday season being a quote carnivore or animal based, whatever you want to call it. Minimalistic, simple diet, I don't know. But last night I had been great through Thanksgiving, never cheated, never went off. Well, last night, I shouldn't say the wheels came off the wagon, but I had a relapse. The fat kid in me had a relapse. And it was a present that I had gotten from a client, and it had fudge, and it had caramel popcorn and chocolate coated pretzels and different things in it. And all day long we were home opening presents and doing little things, and I kept walking past it, and all the food was out on the table. And I had yesterday morning I had made eggs and steak and bacon for the family. And about 3 weeks ago, I kind of really calmed down how much eggs I was eating, because I had found out previously that I have a slight, what they call it, an egg allergy. It's not really an allergy, it's a sensitivity to my metabolism. So about a month ago, I started using the keto meter, the keto mojo meter. And I realized that when I would eat a lot of eggs, that I would go out of ketosis. So I kind of really cut back. Well, yesterday morning was the first time I had eggs in about 3 or 4 weeks, and I only had 2 eggs, but I had taken a ribeye steak that I had cooked the day before, put it in the pan. So I had ribeye steak, and I had taken that and made put some eggs and stuff in it. And it was really good. And for the girls, I made them bacon, and my wife, and bacon and eggs for them. So I had a little bit of bacon to go on top of that. So it kind of started yesterday morning with a little bit of, I shouldn't say cheat, but going out of what I normally would have eaten. So I kind of continued that throughout the day with my in-laws came over, and they had brought a fruit and cheese platter. So I hadn't eaten much cheese either in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And in that period of time, the 3 or 4 week period of time, I had been stuck at kind of a plateau before, and then I cut the eggs, I cut the cheese, I cut the bacon, and I lost I guess about 20 pounds, 21, 22 pounds, something like that, in that 3 week time frame. So I was doing great, and through Thanksgiving, great, beginning of Christmas, great. Well, again, I started with a little bit of cheese, started with a little bit of bacon, started with eating some eggs. I think you see where this is going. I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit because it was later in the day, and I had made a sirloin steak, which I had eaten. So I wasn't hungry. It was just that you kind of see food, and it's always out, and there's grazing going on all day. My in-laws, they had some beers, and I hadn't had any alcohol throughout the whole time. Really haven't had any alcohol for probably about 4 or 5 months, and I don't miss it at all, to be honest with you. Well, there was these first was the what was it, the popcorn, the caramel coated popcorn. So I walked by, and I put one in my mouth, and I was like, whoa, that's so sweet. So I actually popped it right out of my mouth, put it in the trash, didn't think any more of it. Football game came on, sat down, was watching football, everybody's snacking. So I walked back to the kitchen to get some water, and there was these chocolate covered pretzels, and there are pretzel pieces with chocolate on it. I said, just one won't hurt. So I put one in my mouth, and I was like, the chocolate tasted really good. And one was good. Two's probably even better. So I had a second one, and before I knew it, I had eaten probably about 10 to 12 pieces of chocolate covered pretzel. And this is throughout probably 2 quarters of football, and it was getting to the 4th quarter, and I got up and I went back to the kitchen, and they were all gone. I was like, well, I kind of think that's good. And there was a little bit more caramel popcorn. I was like, that was too sweet. So I found myself open up the fridge and start to look in the fridge to see what was in there. And then I looked in the pantry to see what was in there. And there was cheese, and I was like, I don't want cheese. So I went back, sat back down, and then I remembered the fudge. I was like, oh, they had fudge in this gift they had gotten. So I got up, and I earlier had seen some people eating the fudge, and the fudge was gone. And I find myself going, where's the chocolate? Where's the fudge? And it was all gone. And which is a great thing. It was probably another hour after that. So I would say probably 3 to 4 hours after I had eaten, maybe not that long, 2 to 3 hours after I had eaten the first chocolate covered pretzel, I noticed I started to feel a almost like I had drinking a cup of coffee. Now, I am not a coffee drinker. I'm not a tea drinker. I don't drink caffeine. And I don't know if it was it was a dark chocolate. I don't know if there was caffeine in the chocolate or the sugar. I don't know what, because I haven't had any sugar. It was just something that gave me a feeling like I had drank a cup of coffee. And I don't like that feeling. That's why I guess why I don't drink coffee. And then I kind of noticed that my stomach didn't feel good. And then I noticed that I almost felt, I should say, almost like dizzy, or I felt weird. I just didn't feel right. And that lasted for probably a couple hours, that feeling, until I went to bed. And I woke up this morning and I was tired. I was hungry right away. And I just got the feeling like, is it really the food that made me feel that way, or is it something else? Well, I used my keto meter and I checked my ketones. And yesterday morning when I got up, my ketones were like 1.2 on the meter. And I think I was at 0.1. So the only thing bad that I had yesterday was the chocolate covered pretzels and the caramel popcorn that I put in my mouth. And it totally, completely kicked me out of ketosis. And I was a little, I guess I would say, remorseful. I felt bad about it. It's like, oh, I really shouldn't have done that. And my glucose, I checked my glucose. It was slightly higher, but not elevated. The biggest thing that I noticed was that it really had kicked me out of ketosis, which is frustrating because I work hard to stay in a light to moderate form of ketosis to burn the fat. And I guess I'm coming off, I hadn't seen a friend of mine for about 2 months. And I saw him on Christmas Eve, and he was like, whoa, wow, I don't know what you're doing, but you look great. And I had gone to a Christmas party. It was really good. I didn't eat anything bad, and everybody's telling me how good I was. So I guess what I'm really rambling about is that no matter how good you are, there's always something in you that you always have to be aware of, that it's very, very easy to get off track, to get sidetracked, to get and it really wasn't peer pressure. It wasn't, it was just that old habits die really hard. I don't know if they ever die. But I know that I feel much better when I am on my regimen. And my regimen right now is more of a lion-based diet than even a carnivore-based diet, because I'm trying to really heal myself as far as on a cellular level. And I just feel like stripping everything out of my diet, it makes me feel the best. It gives me the most amount of energy. It gives me a sense of almost like a Zen feeling, or things just don't rattle me as much as they did before. I don't feel any anxiety. The other thing I did notice was last night, from eating the chocolate, that I dreamt so much. I had so many dreams, and they were very, very weird dreams. I had this weird dream that I was going to a prom, and we were running late, and we had to stop by a store, and I forget what we were trying to find. We were trying to find something. The prom was starting at like 5:30, and it was already 6 o'clock, and we're supposed to pick somebody up, and it was just really bizarre. So again, I don't know if it's the chocolate, I don't know if it's the carb, I don't know what it was, but something just sent me down a complete different rabbit hole. So getting back to what I'm really thankful of 24 is the fact that on my whole diet side, cleaning my health up, I do feel healthier. It's been a great 6 months, and I want to continue that going into 25 and actually accelerate or even improve on that even more. The other things that I really am looking forward to that happened in 24 was that I worked a job prior. One of my jobs, one of the things that I did a lot of traveling, and it wasn't overnight travel, but it was day travel. I would drive 250, 300 miles. And over the last 2.5 years, I kind of rein that in to where I don't travel. I have a home office. I set that up. I've set up my home office, in a studio so I can film all together. And in 2025, that's something I want to continue as a resolution. But in 24, now having that dedicated space, that dedicated office, everything right there. I started this back in September, October, and it has been great. And I really want to refine that more and really just continue that path. So diet, my work, I like where that's going. And the third thing is just staying active and starting to get back to do the hobbies that I always have done. And I think it started for me about 3 or 4 years ago. I had gotten heavier and I just didn't have, I would get up and go surfing. I live about an hour and a half from the beach, and there would be mornings that I would get up and the surf was supposed to be decent. I'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would drive the hour and a half, get in the water, surf, catch a couple waves, and then go to work and drive an hour and a half back. I haven't been doing that. I like to kiteboard. Same thing. The wind would be blowing. I'd get up early in the morning. I would go get in the water. And I wasn't. And then I noticed that I had a few accidents. And again, I think it was pertaining to the weight and size that I had gotten, to where I had fallen off of a ladder and really damaged my shoulder, and I broke 3 ribs. And that set me back, I'd say probably 6 to 9 months to get back the strength in that. And then again, at a work site, I had tripped on a cord and hurt my knee. It took me another 6-7 months to get over. So I guess what I'm saying is that I think they were all, wasn't a single event. I think everything led from becoming unhealthy and gaining the weight to the point where I had all these little mishaps. So what I've noticed is that over the past 6 months, gradually things have gotten bigger. I started playing pickleball. I've been on my board more, been on my skateboard a little bit. Yes, I am a 54-year-old guy that gets on a skateboard. It's not pretty, but I like it. It's a long board. Anyways, I've just noticed that I've picked my lacrosse stick up and played with the kids. I've done some coaching clinics and getting out running around. It just makes things so much easier. So those are my successes, a couple of my failures, things I want to improve. So going into 25, I'm going to do a video next on just the whole premise behind New Year's resolutions. I'm not necessarily going to call it a resolution. I'm going to call it a refinement, and pick up the things that actually have stuck in 24, concrete, make them more of a habit and more part of my life to forming what I want it to be, and just refine those and improve them over time. I did just hear that I think it's 80% or more. I don't remember the exact percentage, was that people by the second Friday of January quit whatever resolution they have had made on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, whenever they've made the resolution. But so basically they last just shy of 2 weeks on a resolution. So that's why I'm really calling this a refinement than a resolution. But I want to really look at some of that information and just, talk about that in the next one. So thanks for watching. See you soon.